What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Speak Anime podcast. I guess we're calling it a little mini podcast thing. I'm joined by some of my friends. We're talking about Magia Record, or Magia Record? I don't know. But I'm JordanTheCow. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my stream and welcome to our podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, you guys.
Yes, I am RisingSunReviews. I have no idea who this person is. He's asked me to do a podcast with him one day, and so I'm here.
I'm Jason The Trvth and Saint.
Wait, guys, come on, you're just throwing me under the bus. What's going on?
Do we know you? I just came here because you said they'd be free cookies.
Alright, well, there are. So, that comes after the show as a reward, though. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a show. For those who don't know, we're all big fans of Madoka, so we saw this was coming back. We want to do more with our podcast, so we decided why not? Let's do this in hopes that we do more than one podcast this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard to have more than less than one if we actually decide to do this as a weekly thing. I'm hoping it's weekly, as long as our schedules don't get too chaotic.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too hard to find a problem or find.
Yeah, I think our goal is to do this on Sundays, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, we'll see. This one is on Wednesday though, but I think typically we'll try to do it Sunday, during the day or whatever.
Wednesday, Sunday, same thing, whatever.
Sometime during the week, at least once a week is the goal. Anywho, so welcome. So again, we're talking about the anime right above my head here. Anime being discussed, Magia Record, aka it was Magia Record Puella Magi Madoka Magica Side Story is what it's officially titled, by the good people over at Studio Shaft.
Yes, or whoever named it, I don't know.
Yeah, so Shaft is the people who are actually doing the anime. Again, Shaft did Madoka Magica, or Puella Magi Madoka Magica originally, anyways. So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was surprised to see that this was going to be taken over by Shaft. I think it's smart to do because they killed it with the first series.
Yeah, and they just have such a standout style. Like a minute into watching this, I was like, yep, this feels like Madoka.
Yeah, I mean the art style, the face shapes, the crate. I guess it's not really a spoiler, especially if you've seen the original Madoka. But the witches' dens are very much the same exact art style, and it's pretty cool that they are able to replicate that. 8 years later now.
That's what got me so excited into watching it again. Was just seeing the witches' labyrinths.
Yeah, the
Just
labyrinths.
everything
Oh,
reminded me so
yeah.
much of the original series.
I had
So
forgotten
super glad.
I had forgotten how important the style is to what Madoka is, because you normally think of all the twists with magical girls and all that, but I think just as important is all the music, all the style, and that makes it what it
They
is.
brought back the music too. That was really cool.
Oh yes, when Claris. So let's go ahead and talk about the staffing decisions here. So the director is the same director who did the original Madoka Magica, as well as the movies.
Is that Shimbo or is it someone else?
It was Gekidan Inukuri. He did the character design, key animation, special effects, background art for the original Madoka Magica.
Okay.
He's done background art, character design, special effects on the other movies as well. He was the art director for the third one, aka Rebellion. That's the big movie everybody talks about for Madoka. I don't think he's actually directed it before. I think the actual director, if I'm not mistaken, is what's his face? Shinbo. So the original director Shinbo is not the director on this show, as far as I can tell by Mal. But they worked very closely together on the original series, so I'm sure.
And I think Shimbo still supervises all of their anime, so he's probably involved, just not directly.
Yeah, I'm sure he's it's below his pay grade now to be making a spin-off story to Madoka Magica, unfortunately.
He's too important.
Yeah, Shinbo's a mastermind, but at the same time, this also gives a little bit of a younger, a less experienced person a first-hand try at directing. Again, they did a lot of work, especially on the main series, so I'm not surprised to see that this is the direction they chose to go with the show.
Yeah, so we know that no matter what happens, this will be a good stylistic experience.
Yeah, so at least the art and music and stuff will remain the same, because Claris is also behind the theme song again. TriSail is doing one of the themes now. I believe they did the second OP or one of the endings of the original series as well.
So
Okay.
the cool thing is, I don't know if you know this, but TriSail is a pretty popular kind of idol group, and
Oh.
3 of the main characters are actually in TriSail.
Huh, okay. I did
So-
not know that. That's pretty cool.
They're doing the opening, and they voice 3 of the main characters.
Okay.
Shout out TriSail, killing the game, both in the show and introducing the show.
They also did the opening for High School Fleet, which is a show that has a surprisingly good opening. So,
Shout outs.
and Manga Sensei, which I'm not going to comment on.
We also have the same, I believe it's the same sound director. Let me double check that real fast. But the sound director is the guy who was the sound director for K-On!, so you know Jason's going to be a fan. And then he was also the sound director of the original Madoka Magica as well, and that was the Yota Tsuruoka. Yota Tsuruoka. He's the sound director for both this show and the original Madoka Magica, as well as a plethora of other shows, as I just clicked on his Mal profile, and good lord does that man do work. No breaks from him. So the OP this time is actually is done by TriSail, and then the ending theme, Alicia, is by Claris.
Okay, so enough of skimming through Mal, but yeah, definitely a very good staff behind this one, it looks like. What were some of your thoughts, like, as the show is opening up? Like, you see her, like, all the rumors about magical girls and how, like, they have to fight witches and all that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty interesting because obviously this takes place. You have to assume it either takes place after the original series of Madoka Magica, or in around the same time, but in a different city as a whole. It's been a long time since I've seen Madoka, so I can't remember the cities' names, but the Kaminara or whatever, that one sounds really familiar. I think that's one that Kyoko gets trapped in the movie in Rebellion, I want to say.
Oh, that could be interesting.
I think it might be the same, but it's also been literally probably 3 or 4 years since I've seen Rebellion, and that's been a long time since I've seen the original show as well. So I could definitely be wrong, but the name jogged memories for some reason.
So, have any of y'all played the mobile game?
I played a very little bit, but not really. I know that Jared's really into
it. I haven't played it either, and so I don't know if this is just a straight adaptation of the game, or is it new content? I don't know. We should probably get Jared on sometime.
We really should. I think Jared would be good for this. So it was obviously made as a mobile game. It was a mobile Japanese role-playing game for Android iOS, released by Aniplex in 2017 and North America in 2019.
Essentially. I said it's essentially like Fate Grand Order, like the gameplay is.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the
Yeah.
same.
And I was worried that a mobile game would not have a good enough story for an anime, but so far it's being what I would want from a Madoka anime.
Well, so someone they made a manga adaptation first, which I haven't even heard about until I opened up the wiki article on it. But there's a manga adaptation serialized in Manga Time, Kiara Forward Magazine since August 24th, 2018, illustrated by Fuji Fujino. And there was also a stage play adaptation apparently in 2018, and now the anime television series, and now it is an anime television series adaptation of the game produced by Shaft, premiered just a few days ago, 4 days ago now, on January 4th, 2020. So it's definitely had its run through the ringer as far as becoming an anime. It started, instead of starting as a manga, started as a game, then a manga, then a live stage play, and then now an anime. So they've had it sounds like they've had a couple times to master and get it right.
So yeah, we will not be spoiling stuff in the game beyond what we see in the anime, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the episodes we saw is fair game. So if you haven't seen the episode, why are you watching a podcast on it?
Yeah, this episode will spoil, or this podcast will spoil the episode. Maybe not to the entirety, just because we're probably going to leave out some small details, just because we've only seen the episode once or twice each.
It's we'll talk about the stuff that stood out to us most.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it, but this is definitely not a spoiler-free podcast, so it's going to be spoiled. So go watch the show, then come back. So I think the opening was really neat. I kind of liked how I think we saw like a hint of Kyubey in like the first minute or so, and then you like almost don't even like realize that it's him, or like it didn't like really catch my attention. Uh, and then you see him like all curled up like in the classroom after the
Yeah,
witch fight, and you're like, oh yeah, Kyubey is behind this after all. Okay.
of course you need Q. Yeah, I didn't remember him in the start, but I definitely remember him in the classroom.
Hmm.
And just looking there like he's cute and not evil.
Yeah, exactly. He was just big chilling,
Exactly.
chilling with a girl with pink hair in her classroom once again. That's Kyubey. Definitely not Madoka 2.0.
And that's another thing I noticed. There were a lot of parallels to the original Madoka, as in, like,
Right.
Madoka versus Tamika.
was it
Tamika.
Yachiko? I mean, she reminded me of Sayaka.
Oh yeah.
Or
Hmm.
the other one. I think Yachiko was the one at the end.
Yeah, Yachiko was the third one they introduced, who was in the
Yeah.
other city. She was definitely a lot like Sayaka, and then obviously Tamaki is just Madoka 2.0. That Tamaki is the main character, chick with pink hair, Kyubey user, Madoka 2.0.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. What was the third or the second girl's name? Oh yeah, Kuroi.
Yeah,
Her wish
Kuroi.
reminded me like Sayaka's doing it out of love for someone, but then learning that that was not actually worthwhile.
Hmm. Yeah, she's like, I did it because I wanted to date this guy, and then we broke up, and now I'm just like here risking my life for actually no reason, and that kind of sucks. And you're like, shout out Sayaka real fast, pour one out.
Well,
Growing up
one
for the
thing that
girl.
I found interesting though is that they're like very upfront with like the challenges of being a dark or being a magical girl. Like it's not a good thing, and that's like very obvious from the start.
Hmm.
Which I think is good because they covered all that in Madoka, so why retread the same ground?
Yeah, I do like how the show immediately starts out by throwing you into a witch's labyrinth, and the main character seemingly knows what's going on because she's already a magical girl, so you get to see the transformation, you get to see her whoop some ass, etc. Rather than Madoka kind of danced around the thing of magical girls for the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Well, she wasn't a magical girl until the final episode.
Well, yeah. I just mean like they danced around the whole like darkness of the
Oh,
magical girls in
yeah.
the anime itself for the first 3. And this one, they're like, we know you've seen Madoka. We know that it's like, we know that you know it's dark. So we're just gonna hop right into the darkness. We have 12 or 24 episodes, whatever, however long it's gonna be, to deal with this. So we're gonna make it nice and fun from the get go, from the jump.
Right. Yeah, and something that was definitely very interesting is that she has no idea what her wish was. Like, she doesn't remember, QB doesn't remember, or he's lying, which he doesn't seem like the type of character who would just lie.
He does or he does not.
Does not. Like, he will withhold the truth, but if asked a question directly, he'll tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was about to say he would uh, answer a question, but not maybe not fully answer it. Like withhold some of
Yeah.
the truth. But if you ask him like straight up, like, "Hey, do you remember this?" He'd be like, "I might," like, "Yeah, I do."
Well, he might withhold part of it,
Yeah.
but I don't think he would say he didn't know when he actually knew something.
Hmm. I agree, especially because he seems pretty curious as to what her wish is as well. Because he's like, "Why the hell are you a magical girl?"
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm glad you're doing all this, but why?
Yeah. What are you known for again?
Uh-huh.
So we start out on the train. Little girl's like, "Oh my god, my cat is somewhere over there, and it's scary." And of course, we see the soul gem come to life with the pink aura of magicness, and she's like, "Oh man, I guess we gotta beat some people up." Okay, and so she cracks the old knuckles, brings out the big old weapon, goes storming
bow.
into the witch's labyrinth.
Yeah, I have a feeling that wasn't exactly what happened, but yeah, they went to the labyrinth. Something
Maybe not.
interesting, though, another parallel is that the first time Madoka became a magical girl before all the time resets, it was to save a cat.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that was in the anime itself, but it's in one of like the side things.
Huh. I did not know that. No, I'm a pretty big fan of Madoka, so good job figuring that one out,
Yes.
because I would not have guessed that. Good stuff.
I don't remember where I saw that, but yeah, I thought that was a cool homage to Madoka.
No, yeah, that is really cool. saving a cat and wishing to save a cat. It's pretty neat.
Right.
Yeah, I do like all the different crossovers that we've seen already in just the first, episode, which is only about, 23 minutes of actual showtime, not including intro, outro, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this one episode.
Kind of throws you right in and just gets going from the get-go. They don't hold anything back. I mean, we saw, I think we only saw 2 different labyrinths, but it, traveled across distance.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the second lab, well, we'll get to that in a bit, but how I was traveling, how they encountered a second witch there and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one of the things that they spent some time on at the beginning was just her friends and the whole idea of friendship. The teacher's telling her that she can rely on her friends because her parents are gone, or rely on the teacher too. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's they're showing us something that I don't quite understand where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, I think for the whole friendship, friendship is always a big thing in anime, because it just is. Anime is be friends with people. Yes. So it's not a super big surprise that they're you can rely on your friends and you can rely on your teachers and all that stuff, because they're while they're obviously trying to entertain a more mature crowd as well, they realize that there's gonna be some some malleable minds watching the show as well. So I think it's important to have some positive messages aside from just we're gonna go beat up some witches and be magical girls.
Well, I think there's going to be something more complicated to what they're doing with it too, because if they would not introduce it in that way unless they're going to take it into some sort of interesting direction.
Yeah, for sure.
And you also had the friend who manipulated Tamaki into taking cleaning duty. So, is that really actually a friendship, or are they just using the excuse of being friends?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to learn each side character and main character's personality even more. Obviously, like we said, we haven't really played the mobile game, so I'm going into it with a fresh mind of I don't know. I played, I think, the mobile game for maybe an hour total, and honestly, I skipped through most of the dialogue to get to the gameplay, which is bad, obviously, but it's good now because I don't know anything about the show and I can go in with a fresh mind. But I think it's going to be really cool to be introduced to all these characters and figure out what makes each one unique and what makes them all tick, and if they're real friends or fake friends or, whatever.
Right. And something else interesting that I wrote down that I just now noticed is she made a comment saying that she was glad that someone like her could be saved. So I think that just might be something interesting and insight about her character that will make more sense later on.
What? When did she... And what? Wait, what? Someone like who could be saved? I don't
remember exactly when. That's just in my notes saying that she was glad that she could be saved. So I think that was, or wait, maybe that was Croy. I don't know. Sometimes I write notes and I forget what I meant.
Thankful someone like her could be saved. I don't know. Either way, I definitely feel like we're going to get, obviously we're going to get much more advanced as we head further into the show. This is only episode 1 of, I think it's 12 episodes?
Yeah, I don't know, because I heard different things.
24.
Is it 24?
They then said something else, saying it was 12 afterwards, so it might be split cores of both being 12, which I hope.
Yeah, that could be true too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want it to be 24 because that would give us a lot more time to get into the world and the story.
Mm-hmm. Also gives us more time with Shaft, and Shaft is a super cool anime studio that, honestly, I haven't seen a whole lot of Shaft shows, but what I have, I've been, falling head over heels in love with. So
go watch March Comes In Like a Lion. It's the best slice of life ever, and also...
Yeah, that's a big one on, a lot of people's lists. I think it's on my to-watch list. If not, I have to update my mail anyways, so...
Yeah. So yeah, we got them on the train. They were going somewhere, and then they were attacked by the witch. And while they were also talking about Croy's past, why she became a magical girl. She wanted to save this guy. She wants out. So, and then she was visited in the dream, telling her to go to Kamishima City.
Yeah. Wait, is it Kamishima or Kaminoha?
Or Kamihama is what I have written.
Kamihama. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and did you notice on all the train signs kept changing?
Yeah.
So all the train signs kept changing to say it said a witch is good dead or like bad dead or something like that, and then like
only good witch is a dead witch.
Yeah, a good witch is a dead witch, and then the kanji that was above that was translated to whispering is forbidden on the train, or like you can't talk or whatever, because like the witch was trying to silence them about
Right.
Kamihama. Kamihama. Jeez, man.
Kamehameha. That's his new name.
Kamehameha. Yeah, I think it's interesting that the witch was just like, hey, you gotta not talk about that. It's kind of not cool, man. And they're like, are you sure? Are you sure we can't talk about it?
I noticed like they have tons of like different signs that are all saying something like trying to indicate like something about like what the show's doing.
Exactly. And like how they missed the stop, and then like the signs kept going, and then they're like, okay, we'll just get off at the next stop. And then all the people flooded out, and then the witch took over the train, and...
Actually, I don't know if he actually missed the stop, because like Tamaki made a comment thinking, oh, I must have missed it, but we never actually saw the stop. So maybe that was a time where it's like she didn't miss it. It was because of the witch's labyrinth make her think that she did.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was more meaning, was like the witch had... I think by then the witch had been like taken over the train, because you saw the passengers all had a little like symbol on their neck or like their face or their cheek or whatever, representing, I guess, that they were under control of the witch as well. So that's how they all got off the train, and that was just, you know, a 1-on-2 fight between the witch and Kuroi and Tamaki.
Right. And then like the labyrinth took them to Kamihama City, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're fighting the witch, and she was like, well, she's like, I could kill it, but if I shoot it and I kill it, then the labyrinth's gonna drop me from 30,000 feet, and I'm gonna die too. So I kind of just have to ride this one out and dodge for a little bit, and then, you know, she ends up in Kamahami.
I feel like we're gonna pronounce that differently every time we say it.
I literally don't. If I could find the name on a Wikipedia, that'd be awesome. Where is it? Kamihama City. In order to find answers, yeah. So the whatever it is, the witch thing picks him up in the labyrinth and takes him up 30,000 feet. So he's like, if I die, you're dead too. And they're like, all right, cool. We'll just both live for a little bit. Where are you gonna put us down at? He drops him in Kamihama. You know, they start bashing his face in, and then all of a sudden, a super powerful witch comes into play.
Right, and then it just destroys the other witch.
Yeah, just absolutely obliterates the witch that transported them.
Weird.
Yeah. So which one takes the two main girls, Kuroi and Tamaki, transfers them to Kamihama City, in which case a second witch appears, a second more powerful witch appears, takes out the first witch. First witch is dead. And then the second witch is the only one left. Then we get introduced to our third magical girl, by the way, named Nanami Yachiyo, or Yachiyo Nanami, whatever. And then she takes care of the second more powerful witch, and she's like, hey guys, why are you here? What are you doing?
One of the weirdest parts is the tiny singing Kyubey, or Kyubey.
Oh yeah, the tiny singing Kyubey, that's right.
Yeah, that was... I have no idea what was up with that one. And like, if Kyubey did something to Tamaki's memories too.
Yeah, so that I'm guessing like maybe the witch has to, or not the witch, the wish, Tamaki's wish has to somehow be connected to that particular small Kyubey. Right. Maybe that's the one that she made the wish with, and she was like, we both have to. She wished like the wish was forgotten by both of them, and so maybe the little small one was somehow reborn because Kyubey is a weird little thing. And transferred off to like a whole nother city. That way the current one that had forgotten the memory would still be in the same area. I don't know.
Yeah. And they also mentioned, the other girl mentioned that there are no Kyubey in this city, which is also really...
Mm-hmm. And she, you know, had territories, and she's like, didn't Kyubey talk to you about how you're not supposed to have a certain amount of magical girls in certain areas or territories?
Yeah, like you're not supposed to, like... It's like how, Mommy and like not Kyoka, Homer at the start were like fighting over the territory.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I mean you have to kill the witches for the witch seeds to live, otherwise you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Or become a witch yourself, or whatever it was.
Which I don't think they know about that yet.
Yeah, they may not. Well, no, because they were talking about how like the witch seeds are growing more and more scarce, but they didn't seem too concerned with it. So maybe they don't know that they like.
Yeah, because I don't think they know the
perish.
connection between them and witches yet. And maybe they'll do something slightly different here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm excited to find out and see. I think it's gonna be a really, really good series. Just judging from we're judging from the staff that's on board so far. It's the director wasn't the director of the original one. It wasn't Shinbo, but it was someone who obviously worked very closely with him because he had gigs across the Madoka Magica series originally.
Yeah.
So watching him step up in Shinbo's place, so far I think has been really good. I think episode 1 was a really good first episode. It's a great pilot. Introduced the plot, gave you some plot to think about, while also some to trip you up. Had really good music, the great Shafts animation that we all missed from the 2011 series. So yeah.
Yeah, and just like I have like no idea what's going on in a good way, so I want to see more.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that tiny keyblade is really cool. I think
And they got
I
the
can't
thing
wait
at
for
the
that
end
to
too,
come
of,
out.
like they also got like all the girls at the end going toward Kamihama City,
Yeah, that was
and
interesting.
that was a really cool way to end it.
Yeah, that was really good. I liked how she woke up and remembered Ui's name,
Right.
and I'm guessing her wish had to do something with that because she said, "I
Well-
wish that she was no longer sick."
Yeah, and it's like okay, and now she's completely gone.
Yeah, so now the mystery isn't what was her wish; it was why did she forget her wish and where is Ui. So I think we're gonna see.
Ooh. Yeah, where is the question?
My big 1,000 IQ play, they're gonna go back to the city or at least she's gonna go back to that city specifically to hunt down the small Cube that was singing and jumped into her arms and triggered all the memories to come back.
Okay, I have a crazy idea.
Hmm.
What if that little cubie is Ui?
That could be interesting too. That would be that'd be like Shinbo, big Shaft, all sorts of stuff going on there. It'll be really interesting. Like I said, I'm really excited to watch this series unfold more and more. All three of us are pretty big fans of the Madoka Magica sagas, if you will. What was that, Jason?
I was thinking maybe she herself became a magical girl.
Oh, like
Oh,
Ui did?
Or, yeah, like
Mhm.
before. And maybe
That's
I don't
true.
know. That's,
And
that's
it
just
could
my,
be
my random
because like
thought
when
on it.
after Madoka made her wish, and she's like taking the magical girls away before they became witches. Did it also like take the memory of them away from the world too? Because I've seen things like that happen before.
Yeah, I think all this stuff will definitely come into play because Shaft is not just going to give us the answer in another couple episodes. I'm sure if it's 24
Yeah,
episode
it'll take
series,
time.
it'll take at least 10 episodes or so. I think it's been a really good show. Really, really excited. Another thing is like when you look, so when she was flipping through the pictures on her desk, or maybe they were just all out. A lot of them were like awkwardly angled for one person to be in the frame. Like it was like her way off in one corner throwing up a peace sign, and like in the other corner throwing up a peace sign. I'm like, why are you so squished to the side? Because like there could definitely have been a second person there, and like still had like the main background shot that she was obviously going for. So it makes you
Yeah.
think like, okay,
This
so
is-
they're definitely related. They definitely traveled to the same thing together, and somehow like with the memory wipe also went all the pictures and all that fun stuff with her. So
Right. Yeah. Just so much for this episode, and yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to the next one and talking about it and figuring out that we're completely wrong about everything.
yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm very excited about this because it's been a long it's been I don't know, I haven't been able to like carve out time to just sit down and like watch a couple of the airing anime in a long time because I've just been trying to watch stuff in bulk or binge watching or whatever. But I think with this show I'm just gonna have to watch it as it comes out, and I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
to do that. I used to do it with like Food Wars and then I like stopped for some reason, but
Again, I've done a couple of these like similar podcasts with Aaron shows, and they're a lot of fun to do. I typically is someone who just like binges the whole thing at the end, but it's a different experience watching it weekly and talking to friends in the community as a whole and whoever else watches this video.
exactly, yeah. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't think I had too much more to say aside from so far the show has really impressed me with both its staff decisions, its animation quality that like it's not like it matched up to the original Madoka animation, which is really good because you want to have the same animation quality across like the same kind of shows like with the spin-offs and everything, but at the same time it's not like it's being held back for it because Madoka Magica originally aired in 2011, so the technology was much less significant than it is now. Like in 2020 they could have gone full 3D animation and stuff, so I just want to point out like shout out to Shaft for keeping it toned back down a little bit more to where it matched up with the original ones.
Is more importantly, they match the style while still being really good. That's what's most important, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Shaft came in clutch. I'm still waiting for a classic Shaft head tilt, where they just look up and backwards directly at you and just like make eye contact with the camera before they like just destroy someone. I'm really excited for our first Shaft head tilt of this series.
Yep, I'm sure. Maybe we'll get that next episode.
Hopefully. I'm a big fan. And, unless you guys have some final thoughts, I think I might just wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm good. Jason?
I just wanted to say I forgot how freaking insane the schools are.
Oh, yeah. The schools are nuts, dude. I forgot about that.
How expensive it looked.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also takes place somewhat in the future, too.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, but at the same time, like, good lord, like, schools that size, they're not even university students. They look like, I think they said, like, early high school or, like, high schoolish or middle school, maybe.
Yeah, my middle school is not like that.
Nuts. Yeah, same, by the way, same. And I was like, man, they've really advanced a long time. And then I thought back to Madoka Magica, I'm like, no, their whiteboards weren't actually whiteboards. They were, like, giant screens where you just, like, drew on the screen. So, like, they're not that much farther ahead. Like, it could easily be in the same timeline, because, like, both the schools were ridiculously futuristic, glass everywhere, shiny white floors. Yeah, it's interesting. I like how the clock, another really small detail that I liked was like the clock in her house was very similarly styled to like the clock in Monica's house in Madoka Magica.
Oh, okay.
Like it just had like it was just like weird. Each letter or each number had like either a different color or a different font than the ones next to it and stuff. It was just kind of like weird how it's a clock that like it wouldn't make sense in any other universe besides like Madoka or
Exactly.
Honestly anywhere besides like a Shaft production thing. Like if you saw that in any other show you'd be thrown off, you'd be like, why is that there? But in Madoka you're like, that's smart, I like that.
Yeah, they'll have it in My Hero next week.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, that's all I had to say.
Okay. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up here from us at the Speak Anime Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it a lot. We hope that, you enjoyed our thoughts on the episode. Obviously, it wasn't a super in-depth analysis. It's kind of hard to overanalyze the first episode with no other context.
I'm sure we could if we really wanted to.
Yeah, we could have dove in, but Jason does have to be getting out of here soon. I got dinner waiting for me downstairs, so I'm gonna go munch on down a little bit.
Okay, you're making me hungry too. So we better wrap this up.
All right, you guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've been JordanTheCow, joined by RisingSunReviews and Jason The Trvth. Check us all out on Twitters, My Anime List, Aminos, whatever. We'll link it all down in the description below. Whatever we remember, we'll link. Whatever we don't, just look us up. We'll probably be on there somewhere.
Yep, you'd be surprised where you can find me.
That's going to do it. We'll see you guys next week. At the latest next week. Other than that, praise Makoto. Goodbye.